In a world with entirely too many shows about cars, this is another pointless automotive podcast.
Welcome back to another pointless automotive podcast. Guys, we're back at it. Frank and Chadwick, as always, here to entertain you.
Yeah.
I guess we're the entertainment industry.
Yeah. Or at least I know we're big in, what was that? I'll have to look up the stats. What was that one random like arid nation that we were like number 4 in the automotive space on?
Was it number 4?
It was pretty high up there, but it was like Tunisia or something like that.
Yeah, I was always celebrating the fact you mentioned we were like 90 something in New Zealand, so I thought that was pretty epic.
Yeah, New Zealand. We're big in places we've absolutely never been, and probably never will be. Although
we have no right
being
being listened to in those nations or countries or nation states or whatever they are. But my friend, we're back at it, and folks, we're back at it for you mostly.
Mm-hmm.
So we're happy to join you. And yeah, the good folks that listen to us, all 7 of you, we need to expand to ham radio. Frank, I think that's a space we haven't migrated to yet. I bet we would garnish ourselves beautifully on a ham radio. I wanted to say food related jokes there, but I didn't have too much material. But we're back at it with a tried and true topic we've done. And we haven't done this. I looked back the last time we did an automotive Would You Rather. It was January of 2024. So we almost went an entire year without adding a new volume. This is volume 5 for those collecting at home, collector issue, if you will. And this is a little thing where we kind of do scenarios. It has to be automotive related, go figure. And I want to say the inappropriateness is probably some of the highest levels of these episodes.
Yes, and what's sad is no, I didn't skin any minors from the third world in this episode, but I actually didn't go. One is like PG-13, but the rest are pretty. There's almost above board. Doesn't mean I won't like think of something on the fly to just like absolutely darken everyone's day who's listening. But yeah, I'm here to try.
Yeah, you're good for that, man. You're definitely good for that. I don't know if it's the holiday spirit. I cleaned mine up a little bit too, and I'm not going to start off that way, but I got some good material in there. Did you want to lead us off, or
sure?
Put it on me, man.
Yeah, and you know what? I'd like to say we've got like hard and fast rules around here for this kind of thing, but we kind of don't.
We're definitely hard, though. We're hard like 90% of the time.
I actually, yes, as well as fast, honestly.
I think that's still a skill at our age, though, my friend.
That's true. Yeah, instead of just tugging rope. But yeah,
until a cloud of powdered dust emerges.
Anywho, boy, which one should I start out with? Okay, how about this one? We've done colored themed ones in the past.
Is this a preview of 2025, Frank? He brings notes to the podcast. It's the first time in just over 3 years, folks, and he's got a new attitude.
Well, normally I have them like on the computer I'm recording on, so I can just like alt tab over and like no one's none the wiser. I just didn't. It's actually a sign that I'm lazier because I have it on the old smell phone. Would you rather all of your cars, past, current, future, what have you, are always like that somewhat faded Toyota Camry Gold? And no, I didn't tell you this with the smoke silver in your background. That's close enough to be gold. Or would you rather have perfectly executed race livery, like racing, not like people and races?
Gotcha.
Race livery of your most commonly used non-automotive products in your life, and you can't overlap, right? So for instance, your daily driver might be like Charmin livery, right? But it's like really well done and it's like super impressive, and then you've got your weekend off-roader and it's, I don't know, Miller Lite or Cuties, like this, like I don't know.
A Miller Lite livery on an old vintage off-roader would be fucking tight, dude.
That would be sick. That's what I mean. Like it's kind of, but you don't get to pick it. It just like, you bring it home on its original voyage and you park it in your driveway and you go to sleep and you wake up the next day. And much like the stork bringing a newborn, and dropping it off on the front porch, you awaken to a clamoring, and then you go outside and whatever your vehicle that you've purchased is now in some livery of something that you use in your life very frequently, and you don't know what it could be. It could be I don't know. Whatever. It would be Tampax motorcycle. I don't know.
It'd be weird picking the kids up at school in the GX with like a genital wart treatment ointment wrap around the vehicle.
Yeah, Herpesonel. Yeah.
There's a lot of starter.
Yeah, Summer's Eve. Yeah, like there's a lot of different ways that can go, and some of them could be dope, right? Like as I said, like a Miller Lite, like 85 Toyota pickup would be so incredibly dope. Yeah. Like that'd be rad. Or like Camel, like an old Camel trophy truck. Like
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it, dude. I got to go with it, man. I got to go with the livery because it's kind of fun. It could be cool. And I'm always flipping through cars. So I'll eventually find the right car that lines up with the bullshit I use on a daily basis. I like this. I'm going to go with that. Yeah. I'm going to go with the
no Camry Gold, huh?
No, I can't do it, dude. I can't do it.
How sick would it be to like own like an F40 in like Toyota Camry Gold?
Does it come with the Camry bumper dent? I don't think you can do that to that car though.
Yeah, I think it's like $180,000 repair for the. It's like SMC or something like that. Yeah, it's not just gonna fold in. So race livery. I think. Man, that's the trouble. Is like. The daily, you almost have to keep cycling through dailies, just rolling the dice until you get something that's like somewhat like that'd be funny. Like, oh man, TurboTax, I guess, and you just like rock it, like you don't like it at all, or like Crest. God damn it! All right,
could be cool. Could be cool.
Lysol. Like there's got to be. It's got to be mattress. Probably whoever built your mattress would be one of the number ones.
I don't know. How about a Preparation H Aston Martin? How fucking cool would that be?
Yeah, that would be. Yeah, that would be rad. Drano, like just like random shit. A bail bonds place, but no, like that could be.
I like it.
It could deeply negatively impact my life, and I like. There's no hiding that. Like no matter where you go, it's the loudest visual thing ever. It's impossible to fly under the radar. You're like that guy.
I think we made the right choice though. I think we made the right choice.
Yeah. All right, what are you doing? What you got for me?
You know how I always title these. This one's called Low and Stinky. It's not just my balls, dude. That's easy. That was too easy to say.
No.
Would you rather, Frank, have truck nuts? And I'm talking about the large, saggy, veiny, flesh-toned, no fun colors, hanging from all your vehicles at all times. That's every one of your vehicles.
Okay.
Or have an air freshener also in every vehicle, has to be in at all times, that smells like roadkill skunk.
Man.
What are you choosing, bud?
I'm just imagining. My mind was trying to figure out, and I know it's off. It's out of bounds, but trying to find a way to put like. Can I put like a
the conflict of morality in Frank's eyes right now. If you guys aren't watching at YouTube, shameless plug, watch us there to watch Frank. He's really struggling with this one.
I'm trying to figure out like how is there any way to put like. Can you put like a burqa on a set of truck nuts? Like,
you can't disguise them. It? You cannot disguise them. You cannot.
I know,
them.
But like a cock smock, if you will. Just some way to cover it up because it's so.
Nope. They're swinging, buddy.
It's just so deeply off-putting.
So bad.
No, it's like. I don't care as much as that it's offensive, and yeah, that's a thing. Like I drop my son off at school every morning, and like. I guess we're walking to school every day now, which is what I would actually do, or at least like park 2 blocks away. But then like I don't live that far from the school. It would like significantly alter my life. But so would not being able to drive and breathe at the same time.
I'm talking roadkill skunk, so super strong, like just nasty.
Constant. Did I ever tell the flies story
you
on the
did,
pod?
and that was disgusting.
That was not good. And that was the smell of death inside of a buddy's car. And we struggled with it desperately for an entire summer until he found a dead rat in the HVAC system.
Yeah.
Which was the cause of our pain, but we were like 17, so we didn't know any better.
This one you can't get rid of, though. So you got that.
Golly. Does it stay in the car? Or like if I go on like a 2.5 hour drive and then get out, does it like transfer to my persons and I have to bathe myself in tomato juice? Like
no, it's not like the actual skunk spray. So I think maybe there's a little bit of that's a good question.
I guess I don't get out of a car and smell like black ice because that's all I rock in all of my cars at all times. There's 11 black ice trees.
You're goddamn right you do. Yeah, no, I don't think there's any flavor transfer onto your actual body. Unless you rub it on your body for whatever reason.
Man, I feel like I would have to do that and not the truck nuts. And that feels silly. It makes me feel more vain-y than, I don't know. Like it makes me feel more vain.
Yeah.
But it's also kind of like at that point, it's like not about me. I mean, it is. It makes, I don't know. It just, I don't think that I can do full truck nuts all times.
It's a thought-provoking would you rather, that's for sure.
What are you? Are you nutting? Are you dragging sack?
So I thought this over. I'm like, well, here's the thing. When you drive, there's no way to hide from the skunk smell. You're going to smell it. It's going to be overpowering. You don't see the truck nuts when you're driving, but in your mind, those bad boys are swinging around back there, just having a good old time, and everybody's judging you. There's nothing worse than like you're driving your daily hybrid around and you've got a big veiny pair of truck nuts, which is kind of actually the funniest use case, right? It's like,
yeah, I guess I can just alter my life to having only vehicles where it's like absolutely comical that there's truck nuts on it. Any K car, and I think you're okay. Like you can rock the truck nuts and you're okay.
Tesla,
I didn't consider that. I only consider my current cars
with truck nuts. Yeah. I don't. It's so tough. Like you said, like
man, I'm
picking your kid up from school and you're in the car line and the teacher comes out with your kid and is just like, and everybody in the line sees your nuts, right?
Yeah,
it's hard.
What are you doing?
The skunk smell, though. I mean, constantly, dude. You're not gonna want to be in your. It's overpowering. It's not like essence of skunk. Whoa, easy.
Hey,
he meant to say
they don't make truck versions of those.
Yeah.
Hitch receiver. You're just like
it's called the glove compartment.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the love compartment.
I don't know if I could come to terms with that overbearing skunk smell. I can still drive a car just fun. Also, driving a car spiritedly up in the canyons with truck nuts swinging around, kind of cool.
How about?
I think I got to go with the nuts, dude. I'm gonna say it.
Yeah. Give me the nuts.
I'm gonna drive my vehicles. I'm gonna drive my vehicles like I live my life with my nuts out.
Yeah, dragging behind me. What about? Speaking of which, have you seen the new Justin Timberlake wardrobe malfunction?
No.
That just dropped today.
Is it a real thing?
It's not that bad, but it's a real thing. Yeah, you just there's a lot of outlineage. It's not flattering.
I thought you meant like an errant nut like fell out of his zipper,
or like went full Lenny Kravitz.
God bless him.
One can dream, but no, the
flying away.
Option 3.
Oh shit! Remix.
Let's assume that you no longer want to have children. Option 3 is you replace your real nutsack with a set of truck nuts. That's like perfectly surgically.
No change, man. No change.
You can choose any color though. You can go neon green. You can go, I don't know, high vis.
At that point, for functionality, I would pick the smallest pair. That way I could fit into every pair of pants.
Fair.
I would be more flexible. I wouldn't sit on my own nuts. There's so many opportunities. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd go with the aftermarket truck nuts, please.
Personal, highly personal upgrades, or downgrades, I suppose.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, decisions were made. We'll put it that way. Let's see. What else do we want to do? Okay. How about let's go in a different direction.
Oh.
Would you rather wake up tomorrow morning as the CEO of Nissan or the CEO of Jaguar?
God, that's a good one. Is option C not to wake up tomorrow, please?
Exactly. Just yeah. You wake up in a cello case on your way to Argentina or whatever. Which
Hell
is
yes. So, ooh, this is tough.
And I wrote this down last night before the news this morning, where it sounds like there's a very real chance that Nissan and Honda may merge.
Mm-hmm.
So let's set that aside. Pretend that's not a thing. Let's say Nissan Infinity soldiering on, and you're the CEO there, or what we talked about last week, Jaguar.
Yeah, no, it's really tough. I think I think I'm going to go with Nissan because we've talked about saving Nissan before.
Yeah.
Nissan has not that Jag doesn't, right? But Nissan has this fantastic history, especially in the 80s and 90s. Some absolutely just bomb tracks that they were dropping in the studio. So I think I go with Nissan. I start by my first speech is holding like a CVT transmission, and I just kind of fucking break it over my knee in front of everyone, and
like the Apple commercial from whatever 1984 or whatever, when it throws the hammer through the screen. It's like that, but it's like the screen is a CVT, a Jatco CVT.
So yeah, that would be it. That would be my move. I'd make the Sentra like SER again. All the stuff we talked about before. I would reinvent Nissan as this fun, youth-oriented company, and put some good shit out again, man. I think that's more in my wheelhouse. I love
trucks, man. Bring the hard body back.
Yeah. Oh, dude, hard body. Dude, just awesome retro graphics and make it affordable. Make it an affordable truck. Make it a good size. No, like the new Tacoma is like 3 of the old Tundras put together. So bring it back. Put a little small mini truck in there. But yeah, just bring back good sports cars, affordable, reliable, fun to have cars. Reinvent the brand. Nissan, baby.
Yeah. What's interesting is I don't know. My approach to thinking is like, okay, I'm not a CEO. I just woke up as a goddamn CEO. So which one is more? I feel like it's more embarrassing to obviously fail as the new CEO of Nissan than it is of Jaguar, because it's like, oh, like kind of everyone expected me to fail because it's Jaguar, which is also there for Nissan. But like that, and I think, you and I, when we discussed about saving Nissan, whatever it was, a year and a half ago, it feels like saving a brand like that and making some affordable offerings and sporty cars and trucks like that. We talk a big game and that feels easy, quote unquote. But I do think it's actually more difficult to do that and be successful and sell a bunch of vehicles than to be a more boutique brand that reinvents itself and sells higher end stuff in smaller quantities.
Sure. Yeah.
And so maybe I think Jaguar, as bananas as it is to say this, I'd like to say they're the easier brand, but maybe not to try and save. I don't know.
I already know I can get rid of any charges I have against me because there's already a tried and true path for Nissan. So, just stuff me in that box and get me out of there. I got some old special forces friends. Just call them up. I'm out.
Deuces. I don't know. I don't want to do. I'm so on the bubble on this one. I'd like to say Jaguar, but I think I'm going to agree. I think I'm going to do Nissan. I think I think I can see that path a little clearer than I can see from Jaguar's perspective. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's the way we play it out, man. I think that's the way we play it out. And what's crazy is like the very next would you rather on my list is an eerily similar question. So a little bit different though.
Parlay it.
I'll put it out there. This is 2 dead brands. So this one's called the Playmaker. So would you rather bring back Pontiac or Saab?
Have we done this before?
I think we've talked about bringing both of these companies back independently. But this one, listen to this though. This is not, you don't have to worry about politics in this one, Frank. I even wrote, you have full control of the lineup.
Okay.
Direction of the company, mission statement, all of that. Like totally up to you, very loose budgetary restraints. And it's your choice. One dies forever or stays dead forever, and another one comes back. Don't burden yourself with your rationale that you always do with these dreaming, think big scenarios, my friend. You have full control.
My knee-jerk reaction is Saab.
This is a tough one. I like them both. Oh, I love them both. I think we both
because do, they're both very cool and impossibly different. Even though technically, was there? No, there wasn't. Was there? There never was a GMT 360 platform Pontiac, right? That's like the Saab 97X.
No.
There was never a Pontiac version of that, which is a shame. I was thinking the Torrent for a second, cool. but the Pontiac Torrent was different. That was like the Equinox clone.
Yep.
I think I'm gonna go with Saab.
Okay.
And simply because that has, out of any brand, almost ever, like, to be the most unique new, like, brand, newly refreshed brand. And they kind of can do almost whatever they want. And Pontiac, there's a lot there too, but like, Pontiac was always related to other GM products in some form or fashion. Are there any standalone? I can't think of any standalone from the 60s onward Pontiac products that never existed.
Did the GTO, I know it was the Tempest Le Mans and all that kind of stuff. It didn't share a platform with any GM specifically, did it, the GTO?
I mean, that B-body, was that B-body? No, I'm thinking Mopar. They
were definitely the first to throw that power.
The 70s ones were G-bodies. I think earlier they were G-bodies. But yeah, they shared a lot of components with their, GM mid-size contemporaries. They were more upscale than Chevrolet.
Yep.
They were more akin to Olds and Pontiac. But like, I can't think of a single car unless you count something like the 80s Pontiac Le Mans.
Yeah. What about the
Aztec? Was actually
a
Daihatsu or whatever.
The Aztec wasn't another vehicle though.
Buick Rendezvous.
Did they have this? It wasn't this. You could get the Rendezvous with the tent and everything, or no?
No, you couldn't get it with a tent. It was
there was some changing.
It was like the less outdoorsy, more take grandma to bingo variant.
I think the Rendezvous is uglier than the Aztec, and I know those are fighting words in the Rendezvous crowds, but
I know big Rendezvous energy. So yeah, I think Saab. I think I'm going to go Saab. Saab is more opportunity to zig when everyone else is zagging, and I think pulling something from the ashes in today's market, where everything is like kind of the same and trying to do the same thing, and wind tunnel designed for cafe restriction, so they're all kind of blending together. Like, there is some unique stuff out there, but the opportunity for Saab to really do something splashy and weird, like Rivian did something splashy and weird. If Saab did that in a different, in a smaller sedan and coupe and convertible space, more utilitarian, build whatever a modern architect professor would drive, and I think there's something interesting there.
I could see that. Yeah, and this is a tough one. Like I said, I love both of these camps. You can't go wrong. But I'm gonna go Pontiac, my friend. And you want to build
driving excitement?
They do. They are GM's excitement wing, and we're gonna use that. We're not gonna change it. I'm not gonna change it that much. We're still gonna build upon like GM vehicles, because there's a vehicle out there right now called the Corvette, Frank. And for the first time in the Corvette's lifespan, it's mid-engine. You know what else was mid-engine? The Fiero. We're gonna bring the Fiero back using the C8 platform.
I wonder. If you can. I don't know enough about the C8 platform to see if you can shrink one a little bit.
Yes, sir.
Shrink the wheelbase a little bit.
You can do whatever I want. Unlimited budget over here, my friend.
Snip the overhangs a little bit and make it, maybe even put in. I'm curious if you can do a V6 with a supercharger or something like that.
How freaking
Like
cool
make
would
it a
that be?
smaller,
Yeah.
Evora competitor,
Ooh.
or I support Emira now.
For like a quarter of the price, right?
Yeah.
That would be sweet. We can bring the Firebird, the Camaro, easy enough there. But I do want to do something
Rest
cool
in
with the
peace,
Aztec.
Camaro.
I want the Aztec to be a legit off-roader. So this approach it'll be a full, I don't know, more like a geo tracker. So it's going to be a body on frame, smaller dimensions. But I say we keep the weird look of the Aztec, but just, a little more ground clearance, off-road tires. Just fucking go crazy with it, man. I'm going to bring it back. I'm going to bring excitement back. That's where I start. I kind of like the idea of the Fiero badge returning. I can just imagine the hype if some press did one of those, like the ads very dark and just the Fiero badge comes into focus.
Just the bird.
Everybody would lose their collective minds, right? Am I right though? I mean,
it would be
dude.
It would be the most unlikely nameplate resurrection.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe ever. Yeah, that would be.
Lord.
That would be interesting. Yeah.
What would that buzz look like? That would be probably like the top buzz for the year for sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. What was the Pontiac had the Banshee, like 1960s prototype that I think might have been based off of like the C1 or C2 Corvette.
Definitely had some Corvette.
Yeah, that would be a cool nameplate. But yeah, Pontiac. Pontiac, Saab. Yeah, they're so very different, but they're so very dead,
cool.
But very cool.
So cool. They're so cool.
They're very quite cool, honestly.
Cool.
Okay. What about let's see. Okay. Here we go. You get one enthusiast car for the rest of your life.
Ooh.
Any. For free, including maintenance and repairs and all associated stuff that comes with it, right? However, it now also becomes the only place on Earth where you can achieve orgasm. What do you put in your garage?
Well, this is easy.
Or do you keep your current life?
I mean,
normal. It's a what are you doing? Or just like screw it. I'm not
I kind of like the would you rather being you have to pick a car.
You have to pick a car. Pick your car. Is your enthusiast car now an RV, and it's your own little like stabbing cabin on wheels, or are you going like the F40, and the F40 is now the only place where you can achieve sexual gratification.
Well, the trick's on you. I haven't been able to have an orgasm for 8 years, so it's a miracle car.
Whoa!
I'm coming over this thing.
I'm coming home.
I was really backed up. So immediately I thought, like, one car kind of has to do it all. Have to have intercourse in it. Has to be an enthusiast car. You didn't say like super car, and I think you chose those words reasonably.
Yeah.
For some reason, this is a car I've always loved, the Evo 5. The Evo 5 just
bold choice.
It just popped into my head. It's kind of an all-rounder. Like you could put a family in it if you have to. It's not that bad.
Gross.
All-wheel drive, right? Family of hookers. No, you can put the family in there. If you have to drive it to work, it's not the worst car to drive on a commute. Bad weather, sure. It's enthusiast focused, super cool, super quick. I can definitely orgasm in an Evo 5. The interiors already look kind of like they're sperm splatter painted with like neon colors.
Fair.
You could hide some overspill, is what I'm saying.
I'm just like, that's not a very big interior, though.
Huh?
It's not a very big interior. Also, just the concept of a quote unquote family of hookers is maybe the single most insulting thing that's ever been uttered on this podcast.
I didn't state the ages, Frank. I know the rules. I know what I remember was the legal trouble we got into last time I said family of hookers.
The old family hookers. Boy. It's tough because you get like the thing is, it's just like, man, like really, like how often do I need to finish? Because they can go, oh, McLaren F1, like all the bills are paid forever, and it's like, yeah, it's easily the worst place to try and like get down, but like I don't know, man, I get like a $30 million mega car until the end of time, like,
Good point.
Or do I just like, is my enthusiast car an RV or something, right? Like I think, you know what I think I got to go with?
How about a Ford Edge? Can you call it a Ford Edge if it's the only place
if you can't actually Edge? Yeah, Ford Probe.
There we go.
Yeah.
Speaking or your family of hooker.
Yeah, well, your hooker family can all just be in a Ford Escort.
We're the hooker family. You didn't hear Mary Jane? I told you, Ma. I'm in the back of an Evo 5.
Not again. I hate that place. It smells gross. You know what I'm gonna go with? I'm gonna try and pardon the saying, half my cake and eat it too.
You would.
And I'm gonna go. No, that's DJ Khalid. DJ Khalid will not eat it.
You're cakey.
No, R63.
Okay. Oh,
I think I'm gonna go R63.
Good choice, dude. This guy just wants to bang in like the most comfortable positions.
You know what? It's not about me sometimes, okay?
Sure.
Yeah, like it's
the only place you can come. It's about you, dude. It's the only. Right? Like it's literally about you. Everybody's like, "Can we just do it on the bed?" You're like, "I literally can't finish."
Or just like finish up in the house and just like run out into my my F40 or my 288 GTO or whatever. Yeah, good times. What you got for me?
Okay,
and not a hooker family, please.
Let's dial it back a little bit. Yeah, dial it down. We had a little too much hooker family on the last one. So I call this one Animal Kingdom. Totally unrelated.
Oh God, no. So a goat or you going to a llama?
You can fit a larger animal in that Mercedes Benz. So this is Animal Kingdom is the name of this one. And as you would think, a lot of vehicles are named after animals. So would you rather only, and this is only, own vehicles named after birds or mammals?
Oh, do I pick birds or do I pick mammals?
Yep, that's your choice. In every vehicle you own, you cannot own a vehicle that's not the choice of yours. So it's all going to be birds or it's all going to be mammals.
And is it like with it, does it come with an endless budget, or like I could just now, whatever my budget is today, it's the same. But whenever I go car shopping, it has to be either a mammal or a bird.
This is such a strict policy that you can flex that budget beyond your normal means.
So okay.
No limits there.
Are you familiar with the Uabian puma?
I am, and I why did you go there? why was that? This guy, he couldn't say Mustang, guys. He had to.
No,
are you familiar with?
No, because like that is such an absurd, potentially the ugliest car ever made.
But you have no limitations. So you can have.
I know. So I want my Uabian puma.
You definitely should get that.
The other contra to that is the Allspark Owl, which is the vaporware electric hypercar, and which if like now I have extended budget to get. But that's the thing, the Uabian Puma actually exists. And yeah, there's other stuff, right? Like the Mustang or the Falcon, and they're the same car.
Yep.
Or fishes are gone, huh?
Yeah, fish are on this one,
so no Barracuda, no Marlin,
no Stingray.
Yeah. No
Tiburon, if you will.
Oh boy, yeah, los tiburones.
But for birds, there's a lot of good birds.
There's a lot of good birds.
Mm-hmm.
There's no rooster. Pantera is not bird.
No,
famously.
I would decidedly not. It literally almost sounds like the English version of a mammal called the panther. Panther platform, you could stretch that. There you go. Fox body.
Ooh, what about any of the older Lancia HF stuff with the like the elephant? But that's just a logo.
It's got to be in the
name. It's got to be nominative determinism. I think I'm gonna. Boy, I might have to stick with my kind.
I knew you'd go
and go mammal, mostly so I can get that Uabian puma.
It's a good choice. Good choice. I think I'm going with the birds because
Pinto,
you have
Bronco.
you have AMC Eagle. You could have a SX4 or whatever it was. The
Talon doesn't count.
Oh, yes, it does.
No, it's not a
bird. It pertains specifically to a bird's body part.
So if no,
dude, if there was a Nissan horse penis, that would count. That's definitely
or horse penis. Yeah, the Mr. Hands edition.
Roadrunner, Firebird. Mm-hmm. Firebird's a little fictional. We'll go with it.
Thunderbird.
I don't know. I kind of like the birds, man. I kind of go with the birds.
For the birds. God,
I mean, it is called an Eagle Talon. I mean, I think we can allow that.
True. Pinto, Pantera, Bronco. Are crossovers allowed? Bronco Raptor. Do we each get that one, right? We can both play with that one.
How about you didn't say Cougar, which I'm shocked.
The Cougar. There's the entire cats.
The entire Jag lineup too, right? Jaguar.
Yeah. Yeah. You've got, I want to say, God, there's gotta be more. Is there a tiger? There's gotta be a something tiger, right? There's all the
Sun Tiger,
the Sun Tiger.
Yep.
There's what about the Fiat Panda?
That's
Give me a
true.
Fiat Panda. I really want a Fiat Panda.
There's a lot of cool mammal stuff too. Clearly.
Ooh, I get a Jaguar XJ220.
Nice car.
I think.
God, maybe I'm going mammal. You're right. You're bringing up some good points.
Mammal. What about if there's any cars named after anybody? The human animal, does that count? Because they're a mammal.
Manimal.
The human animal.
What are you thinking? Like a Carroll Shelby something? Like Shelby anything? I guess could be named after.
Well, Shelby like Super Snake doesn't count, but if it's a Mustang, does it count? I don't know. Viper doesn't.
You think it was a reference to his penis, like the Shelby Super Snake?
He calls it his Super Snake.
It has
probably.
Probably because it was like the same as a Mustang penis, so it's like it's a horse cock.
It's just super gross and like horse like. It was actually like a huge in what's the right term? It just got in the way of his like racing career.
That's why he would have actually
been way better. Yeah, he just retired. It was ever growing.
Carroll Shelby denied Enzo. The use of a walking cane due to his large penis.
Ferrari Enzo.
True. Yeah, that's true.
I
mean, yeah.
Yes.
Or
what about third option? Anything named after winds.
I mean, you got the cloud cars, which you can't go wrong with a Dodge Stratus.
Just how about that? How about just anything weather related?
Ooh, Geostorm. Final answer.
Yeah, typhoon, cyclone. You've got all of those Maseratis like the Ghibli and the Mistral.
A lot of Volkswagen, the Scirocco, all the Passat,
Golf.
Oh, Golf. Yes.
Jetta.
Man.
Yeah.
I'm hooked on Cirrus Stratus though. And you get the Breeze. Your neon action.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, okay. I'm sticking with my even if we're not including humans. I'm going mammal me.
Mammal's final answer. Unless you got one at the buzzer beater, I think we're up against it for time to move on to.
Yeah, I got one quick one to throw at you then.
Ooh, let's go.
Would you rather add 2 cylinders, and this is just magic? It will just magically fit, even if you don't think it would. Add 2 cylinders to every production vehicle.
Ooh.
So let's say you've got, your 190E Causey behind you in the background there. Now it's an inline 6 with the same heads, same design, same cam profile, everything. Now it's an inline 6. You've got your flat 4 Subaru, and now it's a flat 6. You've got the
NSX in the little picture. There's a V8.
It's a V8. Like everything just leveled up. My Crossfire behind me is now a V8 instead of a V6.
Ooh.
Everything
with a Hemi probably.
Everything gains 2 cylinders. The only thing that gets awkward are inline 5s because now you're looking at
7.
Now you're looking at inline 7, which is a thing that doesn't exist. But
probably should though.
There's a reason why it doesn't exist. We don't like big floppy camshafts in inline 10 though, often old like inline 8. So you can do that. Or do you add an additional form of forced induction to any vehicle? So if it's NA, now it gets a turbo or supercharger. If it's a turbo, well, now maybe it's twin turbo, or maybe it's twin charged supercharger and turbocharger.
This is tough.
Like it's already supercharged. Well, maybe you add turbos, or maybe you add some other power adder. What are you going with? Are you adding 2 cylinders, or are you adding a forced induction?
This is tough because it really it negates natural aspiration overall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For that reason alone, I'm out for on Shark Tank. I got to go with adding cylinders, man, because there's some cars that are just special because of the engine. Like your S2000 with a turbo, it's been done, of course, but I think it kind of taints like the nature of what that car was intended for. So for that reason alone, but an S2000 as a screaming 6-cylinder, which would probably be more like the NSX engine put into a S2000, that would be a fucking blast. So
yeah, I mean, it would almost entirely eliminate the 4-cylinder engine from existence, though. And there's a lot of very good cars whose character is, and S2000 is one of them, whose character is so entrenched in it having a high revving 4-cylinder engine. Like there's a huge, like the Kazi behind you. Like, could it be better than what you had to begin with? Maybe, but like it so changes. So does like putting a blower on any of that stuff or whatever. I largely agree. Consider the 5-cylinder 1.5 liter Geo Metro.
Good Lord.
Or GR Corolla, right? Like imagine just like it basically be like an RS3 powered GR Corolla.
It would, yeah, or a Focus RS from back in the day, or Volvo 5-cylinder turbo.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
I think adding 2 cylinders would be fun. V12 Viper, you know.
Oh, I'm with you, dude.
Yeah.
So those old BMW 12 cylinders become 14-cylinder fucking behemoths.
You got that 18 quad turbo like EB like what do you call it? Veyron. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to strap another turbo in there somehow.
But yeah, that was my buzzer beater one. Throw that out there. I agree.
Good one, dude. Yeah, we got to keep naturally aspirated engines in the play.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to pull up a print ad if you want to tell the folks at home the game we're about to adventure into.
Nelly. We are playing a game where today, just like every day, one of us, in this instance, Chadwick, will be reading to me a print ad for an automobile. He's going to take the overly identifying information in that ad and redact it out. It will then be incumbent upon me to try and figure out the make, model, and approximate year of the vehicle at hand. I get 3 guesses. I can ask for hints in between if I get some wrong, and I won't. I also get 10 minutes. Please, please, please have fun and play along at home. I get 10 minutes. I get 3 guesses. What you got for me there?
All right. I'll get the clock queued up, if you will. Ooh. Now, this is a single page ad, my friend. Okay. On this page, there is a piece of bright red women's lingerie.
Oh, okay.
This is already getting weird, I know. But it's
Buick Rendezvous, final answer.
I didn't say the booby part was super saggy, so go ahead and take that answer back. So it's red lingerie hanging from the top of the advertisement, laces, straps, all that good stuff. And it says, this is a good fucking ad, my friend. Get something just as hot for the garage.
Just as hot for the garage?
Just as hot for the garage. So something just as hot as lingerie.
Okay. All right.
The vehicle is in red and jumping.
Oh.
Yes. Passenger 3/4, someone under the vehicle, because we're catching some air. This ad does not have a lot of details, but it's going to be so fun to work through. So the blank with 140 horsepower and a race-tuned suspension. It's the perfect car to rekindle your commute. It also comes with the freedom of blank's best warranty. I won't tell you the warranty yet. It'll be part of the clues, perhaps.
Okay.
Blah, 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 bumper to bumper, roadside assistance. and they have the word sexy in there, all for this sexy little number, $13,999. That's all I got for you, bud.
Oof.
10 minutes on the clock. Stops.
Okay, 140.
140.
The car is red.
Car's red. $13,999. Just say $14K. I'll give it to you for $14K. You find that penny.
Boy. Not a lot to go on.
Race tuned. Doesn't mean anything in this one.
It doesn't say number of doors or cylinders or anything technical other than race tuned. It said race tuned suspension, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they did.
Red and cheap.
Very cheap.
140 horsepower. I know a lot of sometime in the 90s, Mitsubishi was doing kind of ads like this, except with the Mirage, but those were like 113, 14, 15 horsepower. That was not 140.
Yep.
And they would say race tuned suspension, talking about like the Evos, even though it was. So I don't think we're talking about a 90s Lancer. It could be an Eclipse, just like the NA Eclipse. This does not read like a Toyota ad, so I don't think it's a Celica. I think the Celica was a little bit spendier than that. Maybe not.
Yeah.
And they didn't race tuned. This does not seem like a European ad in any form or fashion.
I'm going to give you a hint because there's so little here to even start you off.
Sure.
The year is 2000.
Oh, okay.
Oh. Reset that driver's board.
Race tuned
in 2000. 140 horsepower in the year 2000. 13,999 in the year 2000. That price point's a big difference now.
In the year 2000.
There's no way a 2000 Celica could have been 14K. No way.
No.
Not even close.
Race tuned. It's such garbage. Like, and I know it's
total
going to be garbage.
Dude.
There's no way this vehicle's being raced. To start us in the right direction,
possibly.
I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to say this is a 2000 Mitsubishi Eclipse GS. Final answer, Bob.
They're sexy. No, they're not. They're not. The third gen Eclipse, decidedly not sexy. Sure. In this car, I'd take this car over that car any day of the week, my friend. I think the GT on the third gen was available at the beginning for Mitsubishi, okay? So you did have a V6 and 4-cylinder option. This car only has the 4-cylinder option at this time.
Okay.
Is a big hint.
At this time.
Oh, there's more hints in that, huh?
Well, we were talking animal cars, including Los Tiburones. And they would absolutely be screaming about, and I think they did technically sort of kind of race the Tiburon. I'm gonna do that. I thought about doing this car in the past. I've got a soft spot for them, even though they're pure garbage. I'm gonna say it's a 2000 Hyundai Tiburon. I think they had I think it was GT in that because this would be the facelift of the first generation Tiburon, and I think you could get that in 140 horsepower. So I'm gonna say it is the Tiburon at that price point. Final answer, Bob.
The 2000 Hyundai Tiburon with 140 horsepower, and you're goddamn right about that race tuned suspension. So this is the old-fashioned one with the 4 headlights, which I also have a very soft spot. I think the newer one, which I think was 02 or 03 or 04, I can't remember. Somewhere in there.
You can get the 2.7 V6.
It got goddamn good looking. And Top Gear even named it as a really hot, like, cool car. And it tested very well. That V6 was pretty robust.
When's the last time you've seen one?
I've seen them. They're clapped out every single goddamn time. These first ones, the first gen Tiburons, are extremely rare.
Super rare.
The front, it's such a weird looking fucking car. It's kind of like a TVR, kind of in the front a little bit.
Yeah.
Like if it melted in a microwave, but
I kind of like the pre-facelift for a Shenzo.
I do too.
With the bubble headlights instead of the goofy circle ones.
The goofy circle ones are good too, though. I don't know. I think the Tiburon's cool, period, for a front wheel drive, affordable car. And if you can find a clean one, God bless you. There's probably 2 left on the road. I do look often on Marketplace for these, and I have a few saved. But
are there any right now? Because I'm going to look right now.
Not right now. It's a few months ago. There was a red one that I almost considered, but the interior was shattered. It looked like someone just sharded all over it. It just they're abused. These cars were like $2,000-3,000 cars today's market.
For sure. So, yeah, they were hurt. Let's see. Oh, here's an 03 GT coupe, $4,500, manual V6.
It's fucking awesome.
It's stock. It doesn't look that bad. It's got 157,000 miles.
That's perfect. I like that.
But yes, V6 manual. It looks like it's in decent shape. The headlights are kind of foggy. It's white over black.
Cool.
Yeah, there you go. Okay,
Santa Rosa. That's a good one. These first, I think those are much more attractive. Those look a lot more like the Genesis Coupe that later replaced it. The first one looks like nothing else on the road. It's just a weird looking car. And this is it. 140 horsepower. I think it was a 2-liter dual overhead cam 4-cylinder motor. I don't know, man. I kind of like these things a little bit. They're
I've got a soft spot for them. They are gnarly for sure. Yeah, like they
super gnarly.
Yeah, like I still want one. And I feel like I remember back in the day super briefly looking at them at the San Francisco Auto Show when I was helping my mom get a new car. And like even then being like, ooh, this interior is pretty bad. Like it was like so plasticky.
Hard plastics, yeah.
And it was like Hyundai, like I don't know. It's just like
I mean, get yourself, if you don't watch Top Gear religiously enough, I remember when this episode came on and they were trash talking Hyundai. And then like Jeremy Clarkson himself fell in love. And it's the one you're talking about, the newer, the second gen, which is a much better car overall, I think, in both aesthetics and performance, because you could get the V6 with a manual, which is a pretty cool thing for that period. Not a lot of V6 front wheel drive cars with a manual transmission.
Sure.
Cool car also, but I think there's something about these early ones that's just so ridiculous. I kind of want it. And I think those V6s put out like 175 horsepower. So it wasn't like a monster difference in power, adding those 2 cylinders like they took your Would You Rather challenge. But these earlier ones are just, I don't know. There's something about them, man. They're just weird as fuck. They're so ugly. You gotta love
sure.
It's like a pug.
Yeah, it's like a pug with like even the same amount of like horrific, terrible, like please kill me levels of genetic defects. Yeah, no, I'm there. I'm glad you did that one. I've been like, that's one I've been thinking when I'm not near a computer or taking notes.
The ad?
There we go. Oh,
the
wow.
lingerie.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's full on lingerie.
It is.
It's just as hot.
Good ad though, right?
Yes.
Hurting on the details, but great advertisement.
Yeah. No, I'm for it. It's okay. I throw those at you frequently. We're like, I just like this ad because it's dumb, even though there's nothing in it besides like it says it has like fuel injection or something.
I love it. Hey, it makes us better. It makes us better people, I think, at the end of the day.
Iron sharpens iron. I don't know.
Whatever doesn't hurt me makes me stronger. I'm like, nah. Whatever doesn't kill me makes me stronger. I'm like, nah, I have some lifelong injuries that I'd like to report.
Yes. Yeah.
Kind of slowing me down.
I get a government check every month that says that that is incorrect.
Make me stronger. Okay, well, Frank, great job. That was a challenging one, and I say we celebrate with America's favorite celebration substance. No, not alcohol. PCP, Project Car Progress. Do you want to lead this one? Do you have any progress you made?
Oh boy,
car related, maybe.
Sort of, although none of my actual personal cars. So Crossfire is still behind me. I need to find time sometime this week to maybe that's what I'll be doing by myself, weeping Christmas morning, is getting that thing back together. It's not like there's a couple hours away, and I haven't done it. I have to take an easy out to it, and there's some stuff going on, but not that big a deal. I just need to find the time. What I did get to do though, which I never thought I would get to do or be in a position to do, is I expensed a 1986 Toyota pickup truck, which is Interesting. I got
which in the early 90s would have been like, so what? That's like $200, bro.
yeah, $2,000 for a very nice one.
The best.
Well, no, the homies at my employer that's on the sweatshirt that I'm wearing right now, cars and bids, he tries to say. Our content team, they're like, hey,
bars and kids.
Yeah, bars and kids.
Freudian slip, my
together
friend.
At last.
Watch yourself.
But no, the content team, their producer Sean, head of content, he was like, hey man, like we're doing like a sponsorship thing where we're gonna have a car. It has to be a truck. Doug's gonna do a video on it. We're gonna do some other content with it, and then we're gonna auction it on the site. We really want a Toyota truck. We found a couple. Can you go look at them and report back, and we hopefully buy it? So, okay, cool. So I go looked at the first one, an 85, just pickup truck, 85 pickup truck, regular cab, long bed, 4x4. Guy was asking 18,900 for it, and 330,000 miles on the odometer.
God damn.
It failed smog an hour before I went to look at it.
Yeah, it's bad. No.
He had rattle cammed the wheels and like got overspray on the tires. It was honestly, it was a carbureted truck, not fuel injected, which in 85, 86, I don't know about 87, at least in 85, 86, it was actually optional, was fuel injection. Long story short, it was an $8,000 truck. It was not a $19,000 truck. Pass on that. Ended up finding another one closer to me. It was a whole back and forth where the guy had a deal pending, and so we offered him an extra $1,000. That all happened before I got involved. I went and looked at it. Long story short is he would take cash only. Cars and Bids Bank wasn't in near me, so I just went to my own bank and my own cash pile here and just was like, here. And then they're wired that. So then I got to fill in an expense report for a pickup truck.
They're like, Frank, this is payroll. I just want to let you know that we were only able to cover 50% of your expense. Sorry about that, bud. Have a great day.
Yeah. Bye. No, it was just like, can you clear this by finance? Because this feels really hokey. And it is, but it was like my idea. It's just like, why don't I just do this? And you guys just like wire me the money. It's like, okay. So that was an interesting thing. So I got to go, and even that, like, it was a very good truck. It had only gone like 300 miles since like 2011.
Ooh,
the guy had put, but it was all original paint, bright red, interior is very clean, 220,000 mile truck,
perfect,
carbureted as well. And it'd been, the fuel system, you can tell like it was mostly been gone through, but I think the carb, there was still something hanging up in the carb. I think carb needs to be gone through.
Yeah, it's low mileage, so probably a little sticky.
Yeah, it's
sticky
just
icky.
Ooey, put it in the air. But you can tell somebody put a new fuel pump in it and clean the lines, and the filter was done, and so it just needs a little bit. So now it's down in San Diego. So my progress was I got to buy another car. It just wasn't for me this time. Fun. Yeah. So that was interesting. But cool trucks, man. I hadn't actually it's been a while since I've spent time in a Toyota truck, and I had a couple of old 4Runners, but like it was a base, like it was clock delete basic. Like it had power steering. And that was kind of it. And sliding rear window. But that was it. Cool truck, though.
Yeah, hell yeah, man.
What have you been doing?
So not a lot, because I'm still in like this like weird ass limbo of my life where we're transacting a large amounts of money for real estate. Mm-hmm. It's weird. I don't know. I think I'm moving soon. We'll see. Stay updated on that one.
TBD.
So I talked about we have a shed in the backyard of our new property, and I wanted to convert it into like a really cool podcast studio and like separate office that's separate from both the garage and the house, so I can go in there and isolate myself. Now I talked about that, but I didn't really. I'm like, I got some dream. You know, when you have a project, the dreaming phase, easiest phase, right? Like this is gonna be so cool, and then when you
that's all I do.
When you start after working logistics and the operations of the whole thing, it's like, oh, this is going to be fucking challenging. So I've actually started buying stuff for it already, Frank. This is how committed I am to making my dreams come true and converting a fucking shed, like a legit shed, into like a podcast studio. So it's an 8x12, so it's a good size. I mean, that's a great size. That's like a standard room in a home, standard bedroom, smaller size. So I went and I bought new desks. I went all out, new chairs. I'm putting slatting on the walls, like the wall slatting to be sound, like not just to look cool, because it does look cool.
Hell yeah.
But it also helps with the sound. I've got the foam. I'm going up. I'm going all in, dude. This thing's going to be like pretty solid on the audio front. And I kind of want it to be like that. It's already got floors in, so they already put vinyl plank flooring in. So it's going to be a total finished thing. I'm going to run electric from the house professionally. I'll dig the trench. I'm going to finish the walls. I'll do all that work myself. I'm pretty handy. I'll put in some recessed lights, and it's going to have like a mini split AC heat system. So it'll have full electric 110 voltage. It'll have heating and cooling, its own climate control, baby. And it's going to just be fucking awesome.
I would love to do that. I need to do some of that here. Like, this has been like slowly devolving into a pile of garbage. I seriously need to take an entire weekend and do that, get this door situation of mine figured out. And then, I'd love to put a mini split in here. I should probably put it in my house first, because like I don't have any of that there. Heating and air conditioning would be a good thing, but I would also like to have it out here. And then like I've got this harsh ass light up here and need to do stuff. I'm really interested to see what you do and like how it works out, and figure out what works.
I think my document, I think it's good enough content for the channel, because it's automotive related. So I kind of want to do that as I go through it. So it's pretty cool. And like I said, like last time I just talked about the blueprinting and everything, if it's everything's going to fit, but now I've actually purchased a lot of the materials. So it's go time, man. And I'm actually super pumped about this project, dude. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I think I kind of want to shock my wife and be like, look at the shed, and open the doors, and it looks like a fucking like professional sound studio.
Hell yeah.
So I'm super amped, man. So I've like I said, I put my money where my mouth is. I've already like bought most of the stuff for it, and start making that happen, baby. So that's been my PCP. That's automotive adjacent enough for me to mention during Project Car Progress, I guess.
No, yeah, I'm into it. That's fun. I'll be really interested to see how that comes along, and then you'll have a nice place to actually progress on some of the stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, it'll be cool as hell.
Progress on the pod.
Yeah, pod, and then like my editing, setting up my editing area. It's just nice to be able to be separate from the house. Like it's like super cool if you can have a room that's set aside as like your podcast like editing room, but just to have that extra level of, and put them all the sound deadening and everything, so you don't hear anything in the background. It's cool, man.
Rad. Well, that's cool.
Yeah,
I'm pumped.
And I'm doing it kind of on a budget, because I'm doing a lot of the manual labor myself, and I think doing it for a budget's cool, and just kind of set like something out there that people can emulate and do themselves. So
yes, well, rad. I'm a fan. So job well done. I'm also a fan of y'all's being fans. So thank you for listening at home or in your car, which may or may not be the only place where you can achieve orgasm. So thank you for participating here and getting through the madness that is this podcast.
Yes.
Occasionally we do, like once a quarter, post something on Instagram. And so follow us there, or don't. That's at APA Podcast on that. I'm Frank. Hi. I'm the Photographer's Garage on all of the things. How about you there, young Padawan?
Oh, yeah. No, I go by the name Chadwick. I'm from the streets, and I'm for the streets. You know what I'm talking about. Auto Obsessive Garage for all your rescues, restorations, and reviews on the tubes. A little bit of Instagram action. But yeah, guys, like Frank said, we super thank you for spending your time with us. If you are orgasming in your car and listening to the podcast, please feel free to rate us on the amount of ejaculant you had during that session. 5 stars, please. That's like a couple ounces. No, that's too much. That's way too much semen. Okay.
There's got to be a way where I can just snip that out of you just going, no, that's way too much semen.
That could be like our
our new cold intro. Yeah.
And
that's a personal preference thing.
What I meant to say is we love you guys. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you next week.
Several ounces of love you. Thank you. Goodbye.
Take care.
Toodle-doo.